Internets. Well, this has been an eventful couple of weeks. First of all, I must welcome the new subscribers from my Pieces for a Talk audio at the MEN Arena. My word, that was just, what a fantastic day. First of all, I got to work with Adam Rayner, who is one of the UK's most respected in-car and in-home audio journalists, so I cannot thank you enough. And secondly, it's really helped me raise my profile of TechRoyale. So hello to my new subscribers, and hopefully you'll enjoy what you see here. Yeah, it was a fantastic day out in Coventry. Got to look around all the stands for all the major car audio manufacturers, have a really good chat with some very sort of key people in the European hierarchy, especially that new unit that's coming from Kenwood. If you've seen the Kenwood video, the cloud connected unit, yes, it's top of the line, yes, it's going to tip the scales at more than 1,500 quid, but as what they call a tent pole or flagship product, it's a hell of a statement to say this is what we can do when we put our minds to creating a money no object product that gives you a real sort of in-car intelligence, in-car virtual assistant, if you like, with text-to-speech and speech-to-text. So I look forward to seeing a little bit more of that unit in future if I actually get a chance to review it and get my hands on it. Thanks again to Adam Rayner for getting me into the MEN Arena, and thanks again to Adam for getting me into the Gadget Show on Tuesday the 2nd of April, which is the day before the Gadget Show opened. Yes, I've got press accreditation for the Gadget Show. Again, thanks to Adam. I couldn't be happier. So yes, all of the guys that I saw at the MEN Expo in Coventry will be there, but the configuration will be a little bit different, and there will be, of course, all the usual Gadget Show attendees. The difference will be, Gadget Show being a consumer-based forum, the remit will be a lot wider, so I'll get to see a bunch of stuff that hopefully will be a little bit more relevant for TechRoyale. So the trusty camcorder's going along with me, as is, I hope, my new shotgun microphone, which I'm hoping will arrive in time to give slightly clearer audio on any of the interviews and videos that I do. So yes, TechRoyale goes to the Gadget Show Live, not this coming week, the week after. So I'll be doing a couple of videos from the Gadget Show and immediately a wrap-up video there afterwards to give you a bit of a chat about what's coming. I'm expecting to see all the major mobile networks there making noises about 4G. Now, I've rattled on about 4G in the past. It's a bit of a soapbox of mine, and I'm afraid I'm going to do it again. Knowing that 4G is in the pipeline, the networks have been, the non-EE networks have begun to start talking about 4G. They're saying that these devices are 4G compatible. You can buy this phone now and you'll be able to shift to a 4G contract inside your minimum terms and conditions. However, they've not told you how much that's going to cost. The only network that's come out there and put their cards on the table and said, you can sign up now, and when it goes 4G, if you've got a 4G compatible device, it will not cost you an extra penny to use that device on 4G with the current terms and conditions and entitlements of your tariff. And that network is 3. Now, 3 have had quite the history in the UK. They made a big song and dance when they first came out saying, woo, you can do video calling. And the entire country went, so what? We're not bothered. The Brits are only, I think we're only really beginning to take to video calling, video chat in the last couple of years with the abundance of Skype that's finally, I think, beginning to get some traction in the UK. But certainly nobody wants to walk down the street with a phone out to their face going, hello. So it never really took off, and they, for a while, until mobile internet and the devices to take advantage of mobile internet started to show up, they were a little bit like a network without a purpose. But going through a slightly tricky phase of pretty average coverage, they've moved on now to be quite a solid option, certainly in terms of you wanting unlimited mobile data. They are one of only 2 networks, the other being T-Mobile with their full Monty plan, that actually offer an unlimited, at least a stated to be unlimited package to the end user. As always, there's fair usage policies, this, that and the other, but I'm a lot more forgiving of a fair usage policy on a mobile connection than I am on a hardwired broadband landline connection. So 3 are to be commended for being honest about what's coming with the 4G services. All that Vodafone and O2 are saying is 4G compatible or 4G coming soon. There's no kind of reassurance that we're not going to say certainly, you know, you can have 4G, you've got a shiny new Xperia Z which is full 4G support, and yes, we won't you know, make you sign up for another 12 months or another 18 months or 2 years, but oh no, it's going to cost you another £10 a month or another £15 a month to actually shift this to a 4G contract. EE have already set their stall out with their pricing, and we all know how reasonable and fair that's been so far. The other thing I've been up to is working on updating my whole house audio network. Now, I've long wanted a Sonos setup. Sonos, having played with it a few times, is absolutely beautiful piece of kit. It's reliable, it's dependable, and it's one of those sort of, you know, you set it all up and it goes into the background and it just works. It does not need you to muck about with it on a regular basis. Unfortunately, to set up 2 zones with zone players would probably set me back somewhere in the region of 650 quid, which I just do not have that kind of disposable income. So last year I set up using AirPlay and Airfoil, Airfoil coming from Rogue Amoeba, which is a nice little sort of overlay layer on top of AirPlay from Apple, that lets you add certain clients into the mix that wouldn't normally be supported by a pure AirPlay configuration. Using Airfoil and AirPlay, I managed to set up a nice 3-zone system, 1 zone upstairs in the sort of study type area, another zone downstairs in the living room, which was powered by the Apple TV, and the 3rd zone, which was the dining room and garden, which I used an old PowerBook for. Now, I've since decided that what I'd like to get is, on the TV I've got in the dining room, I'd like to get the nice album art and sort of metadata that the Apple TV in the living room gives me, without just buying another Apple TV. So I tried to do that by using my Raspberry Pi and putting Raspbian on there, because XBMC now supports AirPlay. It does support AirPlay, but the open source implementation of the AirPlay standard seems to lack the necessary sync part of the protocol, so it doesn't synchronise with the rest of the network. Rogue Amoeba tried to help me sort it out, but they really weren't able to, and that kind of died a death. It was a real shame, but you know, when one room's half a second out of sync with the rest of the house, it sounds terrible, even though I did get that nice album art and metadata on the screen. So I'm now looking at implementing a Squeezebox based system. I'm not actually planning on buying any Squeezebox hardware, because there's lots of open source implementations of Squeezebox out there. So far it's taken me, well, half of today and most of yesterday to muck around with the various open source implementations of Squeezebox that are out there. So far, I've managed to get Logitech Media Server set up on the Mac, and again on the Mac I've got the rather excellent Squeeze Play working, so I've got the sort of upstairs part of the equation figured out. What I haven't yet sorted is something to run on the Raspberry Pi. I've had a few attempts, so far not getting anywhere with it. I'm going to keep plugging away, and when I get some kind of result I will share it with you guys. At the end of the day, the ultimate goal is to have multi-zone, multi-room audio playing throughout the house, all in sync with rich metadata and album art on whatever client it's playing on. So that's just about it for this episode of TechRoyale. I hope you've enjoyed it, and as I say, I will be reporting back from the Gadget Show week after next. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Oh, and bring back Games Master.